Hello there.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cantina Social Hour Thursday night. What is up, you guys? It is great to be here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very excited to be talking some Hasbro Star Wars. It's been a while since we've had a mostly fully dedicated Hasbro Star Wars show, but we have a couple other things to mention as well, of course. But we're going to get into the HasLab. What's on everybody's mind these days? Gunships. So we're going to talk about that. We will talk about a couple other things in my news, I guess. And then we'll go into new acquisitions, brand new things added to our collections. We'll talk some pipelines, and we'll have a good old time here in the Cantina, as per always. To start us off, thank you guys for being here. I do want to mention that we are going to be doing a show next week. Actually, there's going to be 2 shows next week, not just one. But we got 2 shows next week. So let me go ahead and mention what the first one is going to be right here. The first one will be on Monday of next week. And that's going to be at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And we are going to be focusing, of course, on the big thing that is ending on Monday night, which is the HasLab. So it'll be the final countdown live stream. Same show we did last year in the final hour of the Cantina campaign. But this time, of course, we'll be counting down the final minutes of the Get the Gunship campaign. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's, it's positive. But whatever it is, whatever happens, whatever the numbers are, we'll be here to talk about it and break it down. So I hope to see you there. And then, of course, we'll also be doing our normal show on Thursday. So there's going to be a lot. You're going to be seeing a lot of me next week. Sorry in advance. But anyway, thank you guys again for being here. I really appreciate it. There's nothing better than coming home and talking toys with the Cantinians here in the Cantina. Also want to mention that there is a brand new review on YouTube. Yes, I actually did a review for the first time in I don't know how long. Too long, probably a number of years. I can't even speculate how long it's been. But that is now up on YouTube. So not right now, because you're watching the live stream, not right now. But after, if you are so inclined and you want to see my full detailed review, all my thoughts, and everything about the HasLab Cantina. Well, I opened it up over the weekend. I spent probably more time than I should have in the Cantina for all intents and purposes. And I had a grand old time. And, I don't want to give away the details of the video because there's some pretty cool stuff in there to see. I guess the one thing I will say is that I've never missed a Cantina figure from Kenner/Hasbro since 1996. So if you want to see the Cantina fully loaded, if you will, this is the video to check out. Again, not right now, but after the show ends, by all means, please go ahead and take a look at that. And I had an adventure making it. It kind of reminded me why I don't do video reviews anymore. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. If you want to make a decent video, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So, but it's out there, and the figures will be reviewed separately. I show them briefly in this video. You will see them, but the HasLab figures that come with the Cantina will be separate reviews a little bit later. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and see which of the Cantinians are with us thus far into the evening. As always, we have Adam, our favorite moderator slash bouncer slash awesome person, keeping the peace. He says, hello, Cantinians. It's a special week for sure. Once Dodgson is here, I think we should whip up some gin and tonicas. Ooh, that's a deep cut. As the Cantina has finally arrived. Indeed. And that is a real drink that I invented. It is a real thing. I think you're right. That is the best way to celebrate, I think. Dodgson says, let's get this Thursday night started with a few drinks at the soda fountain, of course. Let's see. Who else is with us thus far into the evening? We got John, Miko, TVC. I have made a libation to celebrate you all getting your cantinas. Maybe someday I'll get a Cantina has shipped notice. Yes, that would be ideal, right? That would be the goal. Pico B1, hello there, gang. How's everyone doing? Thank you for being here. Chad, always great to have you in our Cantina here. Nicholas H is with us. Hello, Nicholas. How are you doing? We got Brad with us. Hey, Brad, good to see you. Paul's in the house. What's up, Paul? We have Matt with us. Who needs the NDL when we got some Cantina talk? I don't know what the NDL is. Excuse my ignorance there. I'm guessing it's a sport, maybe has something to do with sports, which I can't relate to. I mean, that's like a whole foreign concept to me, sports. So sorry about that. Our friend Britt is with us. What is up, Britt? What is up? We have Dave with us. Hello there. Steven's with us. Hey, Steven, how are you doing? How are you doing? Dave also says that 4,508. I know what that's in relation to. I think we all do. That's a good update there for the gunship. Jason is with us. Hey, Jason, good to see you. As always. Eric is with us. Hello, Eric. How are you? Eric also says, work is dragging me down. Hard to enjoy things right now. Thanks for bringing positivity to the community. We do what we can. Thank you for that. James is with us. How's it going, James? Victoria posted a Cantina review before Bosk's Bounty. I mean, I know that's rare these days, but yes, indeed, it happened. It happened. Baymax is with us. 3.5K to go. The Darth Ray, still waiting for my Cantinas to ship. It's weird. I mean, I didn't even get a shipping notice until they were like literally like at my door. So they may just show up. It's hard to say. And I have a dachshund scratching at my doors. I probably need to let her in just a minute. Milky Way Skywalker, what is up? TJ, good evening. Good to see you. All right. We are going to waste no further time. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. We are going to bring in tonight's guest slash moderator into the Cantina. Let's do it.
This is where the fun begins.
All right, joining us for the umpteenth time here on Cantina Social Hour, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, John Miko.
Hello there. Hi, Victoria. Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
Good to see you, John. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Yes, happy everyone getting their cantinas but me. Happy football season and all of the fantasy sports and betting. Woohoo! We all live for different things. Some of us, Star Wars is life. Some of us, gambling is life. Some of us, both things are life. So, indeed. Hey, here's all
whatever
that.
Whatever floats your boat. In my case, I'm just living the dream. I'm living large right now. I am. This is what floats my boat right here, John. I can't wait. I gotta show these off now.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Cheers to that. Cheers, 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 and cheers to you. Yeah. Now that's a photo right there. Hey, congrats. I'm assuming you opened a set as well.
I did.
How was that?
Oh man, it is.
Oh,
I don't want to say life changing because I think that'd be a little extra, but they're definitely. It didn't sink in right away. It was one of those things where, like, like if you fall off a bicycle and like with that first like minute, like all the adrenaline rush, like you don't really know what happened. It's kind of like that. I don't feel like it's completely sunk in yet for
surreal.
here. It's been so many years of begging and investigating
Wow.
and all this stuff that it's just hard to believe they're actually finally here in the collection. But I'm very happy. They're amazing. They look. I cannot wait for you to get them as well because they are as perfect as you can get in terms of an action figure.
All I hear is just how much you can tell how much, I don't know, extra work they almost put into them to make them absolutely perfect. So until they took a lot of care. That's what I'm looking for. A lot of care to get them to look as amazing as they could. So can't wait.
They did. They did them as. I mean, I can't think of a better TVC figure, and I'm not just saying that because it's the Tonicas. I mean, like literally, like when you get them in hand, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. Like they are just perfect. Like they nailed the likenesses. The human likenesses on these are among the best that Hasbro has ever done. Like they're just like perfect.
Awesome.
So,
I don't know what's going on. Even at the Red 5 event, like some of us were sharing, right? Because we're all from kind of the same area, right, in the Northeast, and we just got a new FedEx app, and even the FedEx app wasn't even working for a few days. So you had to like log online. How dare somebody have to log onto a computer and log online to FedEx? But it's that whole game of trying to check to see if your label's been created and before you get the email and whatnot. So I hope it's in the next week because it's been now, I think people started getting them in the first week or two of August.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be too mad because I did get my Ghost on like Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve while people were waiting in like into January to get theirs. So
yeah. I'm
anyways,
not mad. Yeah. I mean, I think mine got here like a week after people started receiving them. But the Ghost for me was late. That was like in January when I got that. And I still haven't set up the Ghost. I mean, I feel kind of bad saying that, but it's just, you told me what to do. You said, Victoria, you just need to get a guitar stand, which I bought. I just haven't had the time to set it up somewhere. But I will by all means. And I need to do the same with the TVC BMF because that is not set up either. And those absolutely need to be obviously set up. So I will do that soon. Now that the cantina is out of the way and it's been reviewed and opened up, and I will be doing that soon. But it's I guess it's luck of the draw, right? Doesn't matter if you backed first or you backed last. Like you get these HasLabs whenever you get them.
Yeah, and I know it doesn't matter in the end game, but I felt like I was one of the first 100 to back it too.
Yeah.
For sure. But I did call customer service. I was very polite, and just asking a few questions, trying to get a little more insights, and they noted they are sending them off in batches. So mine's in one of the later batches, unfortunately. Yeah, Jason, it does seem totally random. So
my fourth one is coming tomorrow, I think.
Oh.
I believe. And that's not mine. It's actually, that's Angela's Cantina that we crowdfunded, I guess. The community stepped up, and a lot of folks, yourself included, John, donated to that, and now we're going to deliver her cantina. So I did speak with Angela over the weekend, and she's very excited to receive it. I guess she did not actually back a cantina, but she did get samples of the figure from Hasbro. But we're trying to coordinate because she's actually in Europe right now. She's been in Europe for a while. And her son just got married on, I'm sure she won't mind me saying that. She's very excited. Her son got married on Saturday in Italy. So she's still in Europe, and I think she will be back in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll coordinate. I think she's coming down to LA. So we're gonna try and do like a meetup sort of thing. The only thing is she's flying, and I think by herself possibly. So this box is really really big. I can't carry it myself. The deluxe one I cannot. The regular one I can. So I told her, hey, this box is huge. It is very heavy. I hope that your husband or you'll have some sort of help there to assist you with it. And she has said, we'll see. So we might have to figure something else out. But either way, I'm just happy to have her sign my Tonica sister figure. So
yeah, that's really cool. I can't wait to see all the the footage and video you do on all that stuff. So that's gonna be great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I will be filming the whole thing of her finally getting the cantina and the figure and all that. Yeah, anyway, let's talk about some current events. And I did want to highlight one comment that I thought was a little bit funny, that I'm getting my Thanos post-snap moment. Yes, I think that's fair. I also likened it in the Cantina video, not just the tonicas, but like the Cantina, right? Like that's been my dream project for like ever. Like that's the one thing I always wanted, even going back to when I started collecting these when I was in elementary school. That's the one thing I always wanted, was a cantina, like a proper cantina. So like it's, I mentioned in the video, it's kind of like at the end of an old movie, an old Western, where, the hero rides off into the sunset, right? It kind of feels like that, like kind of like done, right? Like I mean,
whatever else happens, it's fine. Yeah,
exactly. Whatever else happened is just a garnish on a garnish. Yes,
that's a good way.
I'm whatever they make now, I'm done. Like I'm not, I don't have any plans to like heavily campaign for any one item anymore. Like I'm whatever they want to make. I don't care what it is. Make it. If it's TVC, I'll probably buy it, and that'll be that. So, all right, let's go ahead and talk about.
Yeah, and if I could just mention one thing too, I do want to say the donation that I sent was really on behalf of Star Wars, the Vintage Collection Facebook group. I do put sponsored links up there. We do get a little something from those purchases. So I do want to say that was like a collective thing from the Facebook group. So thank you everyone who uses those links from time to time. So yeah.
Indeed. Huge thanks. And thanks to everyone who contributed to that. And in the interim, it's going to be hard to have 4 cantinas in my home, but it's also not a horrible problem to have. So I just got to say real quick. It does say on the standard cantina, the code name on the box is Dream. It says Dream.
That's right.
And it is a Dream. They got that one.
What's the other one?
The deluxe is Evermore.
Evermore.
Yes.
How fitting.
Yes.
Nice. Well, can't wait.
Cannot wait. So stoked. All right. So let's talk a couple movies, because they release all these movies. Like, that's kind of a dumb statement. Obviously, they release a lot of movies. But I don't get super excited for new movies unless it's Star Wars or Jurassic or like something Batman related, like generally. So odds and ends movies, like I love watching films. I love to watch like classic films quite a lot. But what they figured out this formula, that if they release an old nostalgic movie, that they can get people into the theater. And that's my weakness. Like they release something old that I love growing up, same that maybe I never saw in the theater before. And then I will be there. So this past weekend, they brought back Jaws for the 50th anniversary. And I've said it before, if I had to pick just one, that's probably my number one like favorite movie, just in terms of it being like the one thing I could watch anytime. It's probably one of the few movies I know all the lines to by heart. Same. And it's just it's good feelings too, because it was a special movie that like my siblings and myself and my mom, like we would watch it. My mom always had the story that when she was in high school, my grandparents did not want my dad, who she was dating in high school, to take her to the movies alone. So she ended up having to bring her 5 siblings along. And so my dad took my mom and my 5 siblings to see Jaws back in 1975. And so it's it's just a really cool, really cool little bit of history. And I just grew up loving this film, but I never seen it in the theater. Finally, it was released on IMAX, and I got to see it last Thursday. And man, like as many times as I can't even tell you how many times I've seen Jaws. Like, I can't even tell you. 100, I don't know, a lot, probably more than any other movie, to be honest. But seeing it in the theater, honestly, was a completely, it was a better, but also an amazing experience. Just experience it that way. To see it with like a crowd of people, like there were actual, like I've seen it so many times. Like we know, like the Ben Gardner moment, like when the head pops up in the boat. Like we all know that moment, but like in the theater, it was actually pretty darn scary.
Yeah,
like,
so
people
immersive,
reacted. Yeah, it was loud, like the sound, very immersive. So I just had a ball, like just being there and singing. And I know it's also playing in 3D, so I'm kind of tempted to go and see it again, but this time in 3D. But yeah, it's a great. It's just something like I think if you've never seen in the theater before, I highly recommend that anyone that hasn't done that go get that experience, because it's completely worth it.
Yeah, I did not see it this time around, but a few years ago I mentioned to you that it was an IMAX in 3D. I don't know if it was like the 45th or what, and it was the 3D with whatever Spielberg approved for the 3D. So I took I think she was 7 at the time. I took my 7-year-old, and she's a bit of a, I don't want to say horror fan, right? Because it's not horror. What would a thriller? I don't know what genre you'd put it in. Would you put it, where would you put it? I don't know.
Like ranking wise?
No, like is it a horror? It's not horror. It's a thriller. I don't know, drama. I don't know, drama maybe.
It's weird, right? Because a Spielberg film, like they're not like scary. I mean, they have scary
Suspense.
moments. Yeah, suspense, adventure, but also relationships, right? Like that's always big in Spielberg movies. And I think that's probably the thing I like the most about it, honestly, is just the character dynamic between like the 3 like mains.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's 100% like the best thing about it. I think even if you had just that and got rid of everything else, got rid of the shark, I'd still love it. It would just be such a blast. But yeah, it's epic, and just seeing in the theater. Like I think somebody mentioned, Dodgson here mentioned it was like a religious experience, and yeah, I completely agree. That's a good way to.
Yeah, so like I said, unfortunately, I didn't get around to it this time, but I had checked that box. And I will say, like, you brought up a good point about family. Like, so much of these classics, I think, really has to do with our parents, our relatives, our siblings that we enjoyed these with. One of my recent acquisitions will speak to that. But what's great is I think I had mentioned this to you during all this 50th. I told my daughter about it. And one night she just came, out of her bedroom. I don't see them as much these days, right? I have a 15 and almost 12-year-old, and they like to be there on, their Snap and what do you call it? FaceTiming with their friends and stuff. But she came out, she was like, "Hey, want to watch a movie?" And I was like, "Sure. What do you want to watch?" And she said Jaws. And I whipped it right up. I think it's on HBO maybe right now. And I was starting to pass out, and she was still like glued to the TV watching it. So I'm totally with you. It's in my top 10, 20 movies for sure as well. And anytime I catch it on TV, it's staying on. So yeah, it's great. And I do live not too far from Martha's Vineyard, and I really do need to make a point to get out there. And I'm sad I missed the 50th anniversary shenanigans they have going on out there. Even what's his name was out there. Oh my God. Jesus, now I'm blanking. Hooper was out there. Richard Dreyfuss was out there. So I was like, oh, but the Kittner boy, as I'd mentioned too, has a restaurant out there. So you can go to his restaurant and he will chat it up with you about the movie. So anyways, good stuff. Great stuff. So happy you get to see it in the movie.
Yeah. I really want to do that too. I really want to go out there and see all the, you know, I love filming locations and finding them and finding the exact angle, like a picture was taken or whatever. So I'd love to do that one day.
Yeah.
All right. So it wasn't just Jaws that was back in the theaters. Last week we mentioned that Batman, the original 1989 Batman, was re-released on previous Monday. And, you know, it was a big, like, it was annoying that it was like, why is it on a Monday? Because it was Batman and then Batman Returns. But then I guess they saw, you know, there was pretty big demand. So they brought it back for Labor Day. So it was on Labor Day. It was both movies were available again on Dolby theaters at AMC theaters. And I said, okay, well, I'm just going to see Batman on last week, which I did, which was incredible. I hadn't seen it in the theater since I was like in pre-K. And then I saw this week, I saw Batman Returns. And that's another one I hadn't seen in the theater and since it came out, which that one came out in 1992. And, you know, like with Jaws, like the whole movie going experience is just heightened when you're in that environment that, you know, these kind of movies are made for. And especially when it's like remastered for like the Dolby, you know, experience. The picture was very crisp. Like when you watch some of these older films on your TV, you know, they can look a little grainy sometimes, but this was really crisp. The sound was awesome. And I noticed too with both of these that you hear a lot of little like dialogue things, like in the background, you hear a lot of little things you miss when you're watching at home. So I actually heard lines in both of those movies that like Batman 89 and Batman Returns that I had never picked up on. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that was in there. But yeah, it was so fun. And it just to see both of those. And, you know, I adore like the original Batman movies from, you know, the Tim Burton Batman movies. There's so much nostalgia there for me, as you will see in new acquisitions in just a little bit. But they are just two of my favorite movies as well. So just to have Batman 89, Jaws, and the Batman Returns, like all within a week of each other in the theater, like, man, like they read my mind or something. I don't know what to say, but just that's so epic. Cool. So exciting.
Did you get any popcorn buckets? I know you did.
I got the shark, the Jaws one.
That's another part of the experience now. That's how they get you in there. And maybe it's helping those theaters, you know, stay relevant, you know.
Yep, I did get that, and it is a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I had just such a good time. Like just because, you know, you remember like, gosh, you start thinking how much time has passed in your life since you saw them originally in the theater. And it's
don't remind me.
I was in pre-K when that first Batman was in theaters, and I did see it in the theater. I was too young. I shouldn't have been there. By all accounts, I should not have been there. But I was there. And I started thinking as I was sitting there, like, wow, like I've seen this several times since then, but look at how many years have passed. And it's just an interesting thing to kind of put all those like little mental pieces together and kind of appreciate the films a little bit more in a way.
Yeah, those were kind of in my wheelhouse I think the first Batman, I was 9 or 10 years old. And the second one, I was like 12. And there was one other movie in the theaters recently too. It was the 35th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. And I do got to say that was, for me, I think I'd mentioned this, I think biggest movie for me as a kid. I was 10 years old. The line was crazy. It was Turtle Mania. I did not get to that. I'm a little disappointed in that. But I'm darn well going to make it for the 40th of it for sure. But yeah, those movies were all so epic. And I got to think Star Wars. Jurassic Park is coming up soon, right? Was that 93 or 94?
93.
It was 93. So maybe something coming up for that.
Yeah, they did bring it back to theaters in 2018 for the 25th.
Okay.
And I do remember seeing it then. And for the 30th, I don't remember. I don't think they brought it back for the 30th.
So it'll be a few more years.
Or yeah, probably. But yeah, that's a really cool one too, to see in theaters for sure. And they're also bringing Back to the Future in October.
Yeah.
And that's going to be in the Dolby experience as well. It's going to be awesome. They're bringing back Apollo 13.
Right.
They're bringing back Casper. They're bringing back, what's the other one? There's one more. I saw the preview for when I was sitting there. I can't remember what it was at the moment. But yeah, I mean, like they're finding easy ways to get me back into the theater. Like I'll see something old like that before I see something new. That's just me.
Yeah, they had was it Raiders? No, The Last Crusade was a few weeks back too, right? I got to see that with a friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That was pretty
I
great.
missed that one, unfortunately.
But the Batman ones, I think we're only in is it AMC, and
yes,
my nearest AMC is like 2 hours away, so just wouldn't work for me.
Yeah. I missed I don't think TMNT showed here as far as I remember, but that was when I did see when I was a kid in the theater. I still remember, like, I don't forget anything. Sometimes I wish I did. I don't.
I do. I forget everything.
I saw that one with my parents and with my brother and sister, and I remember we saw it in an old theater from like the 1930s, I believe. That's not even there anymore because it burned down since then. But I remember like my mom packed like some grilled cheese like in foil, and we brought it in, and I just remember everything.
Wow.
So yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, looking forward to some of those. I'd love to see Back to the Future in the theater. I was too little for that one, so.
Same. I've never seen them in the theater, and I'd love to, but I think it's just the first one. But that's fine for me because I think that's the best one.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go to the other ones, unfortunately.
Yeah. So keep them coming, guys. Film movie studios. We'll keep going back and seeing some of these.
Ken.
Hey Ken, good to see you. Trevor, good to see you. Brent, how is it going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cowabunga, dude.
Luke, how's it going? Yeah, I mean those are the good old days, the late 80s, early 90s. Like, I mean,
that was our era, you know?
That was it. Yeah. Allison, how's it going? All right, let's go ahead and switch gears here. We have one 1/6 scale, one 1/6 scale figure to discuss this week. And this comes from Hot Toys. And we are going to go to the Sideshow website where we are going to find Sergeant Hound. This is a Clone Wars figure. This one appeared in The Jedi Who Knew Too Much, which is one of the episodes of Clone Wars. And I mean, they've been milking the clone well a little bit more over the past few years. And I mean, I can't. This character, I wouldn't have guessed they would make him, but I'm not surprised they're making more clones. Do you remember Sergeant Hound? Because I honestly don't remember Sergeant Hound.
I don't. There's a bunch of things I want to go back into the Clone Wars and just watch, especially with the gunship stuff going on. But yeah, the design is really cool. His helmet's really cool. So
it is a really neat design. It's kind of like that Bark, not the Bark speeder, but like the ATRT sort of.
Yeah, sure. Flared out kind of.
Yeah, but he comes with a massive.
Is that the first massive in? Or no, I would assume have the Tuskens come with them, or
no? This is the first one that Hot Toys has made.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you could put him with a Tusken Raider. Or you could put it with maybe Boba Fett, or you have one of those like
Mando. Yeah.
Mando, yeah. Cobb Vanth, maybe. But yeah, so kind of surprising that it has the massive, but it's cool. It looks really nice. As far as the actual the figure, like we were saying, I mean, it is really nice looking. It's just not really like the kind of thing that I'm probably going to spring for. But I always appreciate looking at these nonetheless, because it's neat to see what they're making. I guess they feel that this is the kind of thing collectors are interested in. So maybe a little bit of a risk. I don't know, but it is a clone, so you would think maybe it's kind of safe. But it's just neat to see like what they're taking stabs at, and this is just kind of an oddball choice, but it's cool.
Yeah, looks pretty sweet. Not for me though.
Not for me either. Not for me either. There's already plenty of Hot Toys to contend with.
Yeah.
And keep up with, but yeah, not bad. As far as everything that he comes with, let's just jump to that last shot. See if they've got that. Yep. Sergeant Hound comes with the massive with articulated jaw. You get several pairs of hands. You get the display base, set of pistols, blaster, rifle, and yeah, that's about it. Price is $300 even. I guess that's about what they go for these days. Kind of a lot for a clone, but I guess you do get the massive, right? That's kind of a pretty decent inclusion.
And just I know a lot of this is like reuse, but you see the Sideshow Jabba goons for like $280, and you're just like, man, this seems like a lot more for $300.
Yeah,
it's a good deal. Seems like a good deal for what you're getting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we were laughing last week on the show, looking at the Dr. Evazan, seeing how he turned out.
Oh yeah, you said that to me. Hey, he forgot his sunscreen.
I guess.
Out with those twin suns,
Yeah. Like that one is just, I don't even know what to, because in these images, like on their site, he looks great. He looks perfect.
Looks fine. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with him there. But it was on Instagram, right? It was on the Sideshow site, the Sideshow page, where they had, was it a reel? I think it was.
Yeah, I forget what you sent me, but I was taken back by. I was like, could it be the lighting? Because I think I had mentioned to you, I got my my Han Endor, and when I pulled him out, I was like, whoa, he is like. I felt like he was a pretty dark shade, like his skin tone was pretty dark. And then when I put him under the LEDs, it was better. But there it is. There it is.
There he is. Oh my God.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like when Revenge of the Sith, and when Palpatine's like, "Oh, the Jedi told you to spy on me, right?" And he's like, "I don't know what to say." It's like, yeah, I don't know what to say here. I mean, it's like royally wrong.
Yeah, and that's in really good lighting. Like, look at his skin tone. The person touching it. Oof. Yeah, I think somebody said somebody dropped too much dark pigment into their paint mix. I don't know.
I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's like borderline. And I know, these are Sideshow. They're not Hot Toys. I mean, I don't hold them quite to that standard. But I mean, for the price, I mean, it's basically price what a Hot Toy would cost. I do hold them to a bit of a higher standard than this. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to keep it or cancel the pre-order, but.
I think the comments were pretty bad too, like pretty calling it out. And
right.
A lot of times I'm like, I'm just here for the comments, and this was one of those for sure. Yeah, Chad. Too many death sticks, man. Yeah, he totally too many death sticks. He had a little too much spotchka, and fell asleep in those twin suns without any skin protection, man.
Yeah.
Oof.
Did you get all the? Did you pre-order all the Jabba's goons characters?
I I think I haven't grabbed Klaatu yet. I think I was like, you know what? I don't. None of these have any of the special like this one comes with an exclusive, and get it before it sells out. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait till a couple things. Some of my payment plans are finished off,
Right.
before I start some others, because I have Chewbacca and Jabba finishing up, I believe, and they even delayed Jabba a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
So they delayed one of my payments, so I just made like a manual payment. But yeah, that not to get into it, but I was like, man, I think I'm throwing in a few $100 a month here in payments, so I got to chill out.
Right. They process a lot of, yeah. They processed a lot of my pre-orders back in July, so I don't have as many pre-orders with them anymore, but still have some. I'm not going to say what they are, but I do have some, including this guy, which again, I don't know if I'm going to keep him or not. But the Cantina is kind of my jam, so I kind of feel like I kind of need him, but I don't know.
I know. Yep. I feel the same way with Jabba's Palace and those goons.
Right. That's your Cantina.
Yep.
You should call your YouTube John's Palace.
John's Palace. John Miko Goon.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple of pipelines. I'm going to pull up your Instagram because you were there in person.
Yeah.
And so you can fill us in on two brand new pipelines for TVC. We haven't seen the figures or pipelines, but we see the cards, and we know that now that these are officially on their way.
Yeah, so definitely want to talk about the Red 5 gunship event, right? Really cool, a great opportunity. I mean, I live probably an hour and 45 minutes from Pawtucket. But what's great is I have a collectible shop 2 towns over from me that, Steve has done one of his, I forget if it was Tall Toy Tales, but one of those events at before. And it was great that they, partnered up with Brian and Monica, who own Red 5, and did a gunship kind of takeover event where Steve Evans and Chris Reif came and brought the gunship, and a bunch of us were hanging around the gunship, and Steve just nonchalantly started putting down all of the cards for the clone pilot, Sicey Tin, Agan Kolar, and Coleman Trebor, and then he proceeded to slap down 2 more, and he was like, "There they are," and like I looked down, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And everyone was like, "What?" And
Nice.
We know from the let me grab it really quick. We know from this is one of my recent, I guess, acquisitions, but from this little sketch, right?
Here, let me make that bigger.
Yeah, one of these sketches, right? It was clear that this way. This was Shakti with the ST, and then Padme there with the blaster. So, and Steve put a nice little thank you your force or something like that. So, oh, thank you for your force, the force. So, anyways, it was really cool to see the official kind of pipelined announcement there.
Yeah.
And they did say they are all new, from the ground up designs. And you can see, right, that Shakti's card is, her actually in the arena where Padme's is, right, kind of
Yep.
pre-arena when she's with Anakin there on their little adventure, right? So I don't know, that maybe that suggests some things, right, that we could get possibly a couple different iterations of Padme, based on. different scenes. So.
Right. Now, this one's exciting. I know they just did her in Black Series not too long ago, but she would have been in my top 5 like Jedi characters to be remade. So I'm really glad that she's coming out.
Yeah, and the Black Series one looked absolutely amazing.
It is, yeah.
So can't wait to see that in TVC form.
For sure.
And it looks like a mainline release, which is good because I think James Burns had like an interview with Chris Rife where they were kind of talking about some of her deco and stuff being up in that kind of deluxe echelon there. But anyways, so yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, they did announce a couple other things at the event. They noted they also had the nose art, the 2 different nose art decal sheets that are removable, reposable. If you want, I can share some pictures of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I might have another post of that stuff, but I could talk about the event a little more too.
Yeah. We'll definitely get your thoughts on the gunship and all that in just a little bit.
Okay, yeah, but there's the it might be one of my other posts on my Instagram if you want to go to that. It has the decals. Unless it's in the same. Did I not? Maybe I didn't post it there. Or maybe the next page. Oh yeah, that's just those. Maybe I didn't post those there and I only posted them on Facebook. Whoops. But yeah, they're on my website with the card backs as well. But they announced a couple more different decal sheets for the gunship, and Steve noted that there is going to be a Phase 1 clone trooper without a removable helmet. That will be in some kind of what did he say here? I don't want to misquote anything. Some army builder of sorts.
Yes, and it sounds like he's not confirming whether it's a single pack figure or if it's one of the 4 packs.
Yeah, he didn't want to. Yeah, he didn't confirm how it's being, packaged or whatnot. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Very cool reveals. Pretty excited for that. It's been a while since we've got a new Padme, right? So
it's been a decade. I think 2014 or 15 was the last, or 13. It might have been 13 actually when the Black Series went to 3 3/4. Because I think she was one of the first ones, if I recall correctly. And it wasn't like it was like the Geonosis arena Padme. It wasn't like this one that's shown here. That's like the more Tatooine like look cape.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. Very cool. I'm glad we're getting her. I hope we get more versions of her, by the way. Because I really do need her Phantom Menace Queen Amidala look too.
I know. Can you imagine that with all the photo reel and the deco they can do now? Oh.
Yeah. For sure. Let's see. There was a comment.
Hey, Mr. Skeesler. Hello, good sir. We got Brad. We got Dustin. Nice.
Yeah. Luke says, watch your HasLab Cantina video tonight. The whole video, absolutely amazing. Thank you. Appreciate that, Luke.
Yeah, can't wait to watch that.
And yes, Mr. Skeesler, how's it going? And Fatmatic, good to see you. Awesome. Little Pookie, how's it going? Cool. All right. So yeah. Now you have something in common with me. You have seen the gunship in person. And I tried to, I don't know if I did the best job of saying this, but when the first show that I did after Comic-Con, I tried to get the message across that I think we have like a mental block of some sort because it already exists in some form in our collections that prevents us from fully realizing what the HasLab version is going to be like until you see it in person. So now that you've seen it in person, John, and you've gotten to be up close and personal with it, and have your thoughts towards this particular item changed from since before you actually got to see it?
I will say they changed slightly. Like I feel like I had seen enough like actual footage of it between Augustine's great photos from San Diego Comic-Con and some of the stuff they did at the Toronto convention they were at. But seeing it in person, I think, gave that scale that I wasn't realizing, right? The scale of it, the size of it, comparing it to the old one. So I think that perspective like really wowed me. And then really seeing that deco in person. And what's cool is at the event, this person Colby was there, and he had done the manual deco for the ship. That's eventually going to be, mapped out for its actual production decoing that will happen if and when it backs. So to see all of that, I think like the amount of deco on this thing is off the charts. So I've always respected the barge and the Razor Crest for the amount of deco they have. With the barge, you almost have to put like put it in nice lighting to really see the layering of deco. Even with the skiffs as well. But anyways, I was blown away by the amount of deco, the grime that's all over this ship, the wear and tear that it has to be like something that realistically flew in, and took some battle damage, and all of that, coming in and picking up troops can't be a nice and clean type of operation. So I was really blown away by that. And then just the engineering, like comparing the ball turrets to the old ball turrets, like they're true spherical turrets. There's not just a bunch of plastic thrown onto them. Mm-hmm. The way you can open them and put a figure in, the detail of the cockpit, everything Chris was telling us about, like the redesign from The Mandalorian, how LFL went in and just completely overhauled the thing, because it was a lot of the detail was scaled back as it made it into animation and other forms of media. So it was just really cool to see it in person, and I'm glad I did. It assured for me that it is TVC quality. I think that's kind of what you were alluding to as well. I think there's these blurred lines that this is 375 is 375, and whatever we have in it is good enough. And I've always been a modern collector, upgrading what I have to a more definitive state. And this for me, putting up the old gunship, as I brought the old gunship and mine is melting in a couple parts. I know you had ones that melted a lot worse. But bringing it next to it, it really was like bringing a kid's toy to compare against. I mean, like what Chris Rife has said, it's up there as a studio model. So
yeah,
got to respect that. And especially that's what TVC is, right? Premium collectible.
Premium. Yeah. It's like bringing the knife to the sword fight, right? Or it's not your, I guess it's not really granddaddy's. It's not your daddy's gunship, right? It's like a whole other ball game. Like, yeah, and you're right. When you see it in person, like like my first impression was I was taken aback by the size of it. Like it's really, really big. It's massive. Just like the dimensions of it and everything it's really impressive. And I can only say that so many times that it's it's you know, sizable and impressive, but
size matters, Victoria. It's okay, you can say
it. The details on it are astoundingly good, though. You're right.
Yeah,
there is so much to see. There is a lot to see there. And it's very apparent when you get up close and personal with it that it's got a lot of detail and paint stuff on it that really helps to bring the realism to the forefront. And you know, I would say that the sail barge and the Razor Crest certainly qualify for items that look like set pieces. They really do look like they could have been the actual pieces used in the media. And this gunship definitely falls into that same category.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just going to share a few things here. You know, it's
Yes,
like
please.
some of the things we're speaking to, you know, Tyler was there and it was great to see him setting up all sorts of different dioramas. At one point, it was like, can you just get out of the way for 2 minutes? Let me take some photos. But it was so thrilling to see just how happy he was setting up all these different scenes. But like, look at the you know, the turret cannon here versus the prior one. It just really shows you the scale, again, the details of it all. They really went just all out with every piece of this ship. I wanted to show, oh, right here, Steve actually he knocked the table and all these clone troopers fell over and he was devastated. So he fell down. So there was some shenanigans going on by from Mr. Stevie. It was a joy to be around and just obviously watching them you know, just enjoy all of us. You know, everyone's setting up their figures, so to speak. But you know, again, just to see the deco here, right? Like this is not just painted in you know, they took time to really weather this out and they confirmed that it will have all of this deco. And if there is budget left when they're done doing all this, they want to deco even more of the inside of the ship.
Nice.
So yeah, and these are the decals here. And they're repositionable, so you can take them off, put them back on your sheet, or whatnot.
That's rad. I think it was Britt that mentioned in the comments earlier that it would be cool if they did the Padme.
Oh, did we lose you, Victoria?
I think I'm here.
Oh, I think she's back.
Did I cut out or
you're
something?
Back.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, you like disappeared for a second. Yep.
Oh, okay. I think it was Britt that mentioned earlier in the comments that it'd be awesome if they did like the Padme like sticker for like the nose of the gunship. I know I mentioned to you in a previous, like the Lucky Laku, like that's actually one that they made back in 2008.
Yeah.
One of the gunship variants. Like that would be awesome. I do see how maybe like those would be harder to get approved in, you know, today compared to back then.
Yeah.
But I'd love those. Like I would really like, I would display, I would for sure 100% I would use either one of those like to display. Probably the Padme one would be the coolest one. But
yeah, I think there are some people out there that do custom decals for that stuff. So if anything,
good point,
you know, it's obtainable in that. And this is just comparing, right, the actual ball turrets, and you can see, right, how it's like impossible to put a figure in there in the old one and actually position him properly without wanting to pull your hair out. And then you can again see, right, that it's like an actual round. It's not like a round sphere and then they threw plastic onto it, right? It's like really designed to be as authentic as they can in this scale. This one here, I just wanted to highlight this one. Like, you know, some things they did think about making certain, you know, pieces translucent. So if you did want to add some customized LEDs, you can do that. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that wish they just put the electronics in, but I do know people that don't want electronics in these things. And it just will probably make the price go up. And I know everyone says, oh, they should just include it in the price, but that's not how unfortunately business goes. These are a couple more lenses on the wings, right? For signals, lenses here that you can pass through, and they designed it so you could be able to pass light through these spaces and have those light as well. There's another one down here.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder if that was an add-on later, because I don't remember seeing that at San Diego Comic-Con when they had
okay. They did say these would be clear.
Okay.
Like they wouldn't be painted in the final model. So, and I remember Mr. Skeesler and his son there enjoying it, and just turning these little wing turrets and everything. Like everything is just that's what was cool. It's like I was afraid to touch it a few times and like put some figures in the cockpit, and Steve was like, "We brought it here for you to do that," and I was like, "Ah." So it was cool to actually interact with it, and even again, right, a lot of these Clone Wars scenes Tyler reenacted here, which was great, right?
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Skeezer says, it was so refreshing to hear Chris Rive talking about all the features and hinting at future plans. He's such a geek, and it was awesome. And that's 100% true. That guy is a Star Wars expert. I don't think a lot of people realize this. Like, he is like a huge expert on all things Star Wars. And he actually, going back to the 90s, he's been writing about Star Wars, like published books about Star Wars and lightsabers. Like, he's an expert on all kinds of Star Wars details.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He was in the one of the Mandalorian books I have for the movies. I think the concept art. I forgot. I have is it the Master Replicas Boba Fett helmet I have, or Mafex? I always forget which one it is, but he did all of the metal CAD design for that helmet. Obviously his R2 is like the design that's leveraged now, I think, for a lot of the R2s that are in the movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really great talking to him. It's really, you can really tell with him, this has been like I don't want to say a passion project, but he put everything into this.
Yes.
And was pretty excited for all of the engineering and design that went into it. And then he was so proud again of Colby, who was an intern at the time, to put this deco together.
Right.
So yeah, and I think there's a picture here. Oh, does it want to load? There we go. That's Colby, Chris Rife, Steve being Steve, Tyler, me, and then Brian, who owns Red 5, and his wife and his mom are at the counter here. So you can see all his Black Series and TVC and everything. So pretty great here. And yeah, that was just really cool. And then I do have to give a little shout out here for Matt Murphy in the Facebook group. He brings Mithril everywhere with him, and he was bummed that he couldn't go to the event. So I brought a Mithril, and I made Steve put it in the cockpit because I didn't want to break anything. And I think it was the only thing Steve played around with. There was a picture of him kind of smiling, putting him in there. And he's got a bomber coat, right? Like,
yeah, he does.
Yeah. But anyways, shout out to Tyler again. He did a lot of great. Some of these, many of these photos are Tyler's as well. So I do want to acknowledge that. Again, they were just geeking out about every detail, even under the canopy. Like Chris was showing me how excited he was for this design. So yeah, I think this Padme needs to be updated. This Kia di Mundi, a lot of these figures need to be updated, right? That's not even the correct. That's not even the correct Kephisto, technically, right? The card back might have been, but not the figure.
Right. Not for Attack of the Clones. Yeah, that original AOTC version hasn't been updated since. I guess it would have been one of the Geonosis Arena 2 packs from Legacy Collection.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just blown away by these figures too. I mean, again, I'm a figure first guy, so even if these are redos, they're amazing.
Yeah, they are so cool.
So yeah.
They are so cool. Well, let's take a look and see where the gunship sits at currently.
Yeah, sure. I can. You want to bring that up?
Yeah, I can bring that up.
Okay, go for it.
We'll check in with the gunship and see where it is. So I do have it up. I see a number here. I want to see if it's changed since before we went live, because it was at a certain number that I still see right now. So that was 4,502. That was before we went live. And we'll refresh that. Now it's at 4,516. So
14 more.
Yeah, 14 more. Hey, I mean, within the last hour or so. So I mean, that is something.
Okay, we're over 100 for the day. I was not gonna lie, I was hoping by midnight to be around 200, but we did cross the 4,500 mark.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's been there have been slight increases in the last several days, and obviously, you know, that's any sort of positive trending is what we want to see. I was reminded that a couple of days ago that the cantina itself was not at its goal until just very shortly before the campaign ended. And then when it I think it was like a week before that it finally hit like the goal. And then the tiers came really quickly after that were unlocked. So with that in mind, you know, there is a chance that this will fund, and you know, who knows what happens after that as far as the tiers go.
Yeah, it is interesting to look at the data of the last few HasLabs, and you know, some of them have waited till the last day to fund and then take off, and some have funded a few days before and then taken off based on that. So you know, we're falling into the critical time period of the last like three. What we're at right now? What, 4 days left? Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so we have 4 days left technically. 4 days, 2 hours left, I guess. So it's really going to see how this moves Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in my mind.
Right.
So
yeah, it's definitely not over until it's over. So anything is possible with this stuff, right? This isn't an exact science. You know, we have had enough HasLabs where we can look back at information from the past and kind of use that as a predictor. But like again, like with the cantina, like that was very tense, like towards the end of that, right? Like we weren't sure, like, was it gonna fund? Hopefully it does, like, and it did. So I'm hoping that with something like the gunship that we'll have a similar scenario.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, right, it got pretty exciting like those last few hours, because it was like starting to move through tiers, if I remember correctly. I have to bring up the data here. Let me pull up my dashboard. But the cantina on the last day, from day 31, it was at 10,301, which was what, through tier 1?
Yes, the Greedo.
Yeah, because Greedo was 10,000, I believe. Let me look here. No, Greedo was 11,000.
Okay, that's right. And then I think Nabrin Leeds was 14, and Arleal, I believe, was 17.
Correct. Yep. But yeah, so the last day it hit 2 tiers.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, it's just interesting, right? I think the Snowcat backed on with 6 days left, and then I think it took till like the last day to really hit through all of its tiers. So look, I'm hoping for this thing to back, and I'm hoping for it to hit Coleman. And it's funny, right? I mean, people can be so cruel. People thought the Cantina was a failure because it didn't back all tiers, and the tiers are always meant to be sweeteners, right? Little
Right.
Garnishes, if you will, multiple garnishes, right? But I think one can say about this campaign that maybe some of the minimal funding figures, right, like the clone pilot set, maybe it could have had something else or another figure with them to kind of make it a little more add a little more excitement to the base offering. I know the ship had the multiple panels of nose art and then 2 different bases. Can't forget all that, but maybe that's one thing to think about, right, in the future, is putting something in there that gets people also, from a figure standpoint, to want to back it.
Yeah, that would be really cool if we hit, I mean, any tiers, right? But it would be neat to get those, because I mean, those are definitely something we could use with this Battle Geonosis theme.
I know. Yeah. You look at some of the other HasLabs, and you see some of the tiers, and you're like, wasn't really much, like the proton pack. Wasn't it like you could get some Slimer like slime to put on your proton pack, and some patches and stickers, and so
right. I mean, even the barge, right? I mean, it was Yak Phase, right, on the Power of the Force 2 card, and the Razor Crest, that was just the Jawa Elder and then Grogu, both of which we already had in the main line. But, we were just so, I mean, yeah, the tiers have definitely gotten better. I mean, I think the most significant has been, I mean, probably you're going to guess, I'm going to say Tonicus, but I feel like actually the Ghost had the most significant tiers in terms. Well, the Tonicas were baked in; they were part of the camp. They were part of it, so it's different. But the Ghost, like, that was a really important one, I think, because there was no TVC Rebel stuff at all. Like, there was just nothing, right? The Ghost was the first thing, and then those figures were going to be the first bits of Rebels in TVC, and then the stretch goals were very important to hit so that you could complete that crew, and thankfully they all unlocked. And then we had, of course, the Cantina characters, which 2 of those were redos and 1 would have been all new. It is unfortunate the one that was all new that never before offered wasn't the first tier instead of the last tier, but that's how it goes. And then and then this is Jedi figures. We have, these are redos. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next. I'm getting to the point where I'm just refreshing it more often. I want to see what's happening. I'll just randomly be sitting doing whatever, and then I'm like, let's check the HasLab and see where it's at. I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I want to know, is there anything different in the last 30 minutes? Is there anything different in the last hour? I just want to see.
So true. It's so true. I don't want to know how many times I've visited that website and hit the refresh button. But just going back to the offerings, the gunship, or I'm sorry, the Ghost, it had, everything was never offered in TVC, or more than 5 POA, and the ship obviously had never been offered before. But I think Chris from Bantha Skull said it best with me, is the barge and the Razor Crest had figures that you knew were also, not necessarily totally exclusive, right? Like, you knew you were getting another Yak Face, but you had that on a, exclusive card with his fancy little cup and coin. And if you weren't married to that, you could sell it off to offset some of your, your barge. Same thing with the Mandalorian, right? He had a soft goods cape, right? I don't think there was much else that was unique. And then the Jawa was a little bit different, and Grogu came with his metallic pram. But if you weren't married to those things, you could offset some of your Razor Crest with that. And as I think Britt or somebody said in the comments too, right? Things are a little different economically. Things are more expensive. The job market's not as stable. It's summer and people are spending money and going on vacations, and it's got 46 days, which is good, right? Because the Cantina only had 32.
Yeah, it did. And I still this doesn't keep me up at night, but I still wonder, had it had a full campaign, would we have gotten our Leal shoes? I mean, I kind of feel like maybe we would have.
I know Chris feels like if there was one more day, it would have needed like a couple more hours, I think he would say. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm looking forward to once they reveal the little table there of 4 hands that they revealed right at Comic-Con. That hopefully one of those, it looks like one of those hands is our Leals. So.
I mean, I certainly hope so. Because even before we got the Tonikas, like our Leal was my second most wanted Cantina character. So now that we have the Tonikas, he's my number 1 most wanted Cantina character. So I would never like hardcore campaign for our Leal the way I would for the other ones, but I mean, I still really, really want that figure. Really want that figure. So I hope somehow, some way, yeah. I hope that is his hand. In short.
Definitely. Yeah. There's some great comments here too.
Yeah, let's go and take a look at those. Yeah, tons of comments. I'm going to go back just a little bit. Take a peek. Luke says, making a large space on the shelf. On the large shelf for the Cantina, I know it's huge. I know it won't fit as a whole, but split it in straight lines to have better access to in pictures since it's modular. Yes. So I did mention this in the review video. It is 33 inches long. It is 27 inches wide, and at its highest point, it's a little bit over 7 inches. It is glorious when you have the full deluxe Cantina assembled, but unfortunately, there's just no way I have that kind of space available to put the whole thing like that. As much as I'd love to, maybe one day down the road, yes, but as of right now, I can't do that. So I'm appreciative of the fact that it is modular so that I can kind of tailor it to fit my display needs. Brad's asking, does the campaign hemorrhage backers if the unlocked tiers are clearly out of reach? I mean, I guess it depends, right? Like, I think once it's actually backed, I think in the past we've seen once something like backs, like you see an influx of people coming on board, which obviously is a good opportunity for those tiers to unlock. So I guess depending on the trajectory and the velocity at which backers are added after it funds, that's when we would see how many people jump on board versus how many abandon ship. Don't abandon ship on the gunship. Don't abandon ship on the gunship.
That's right.
Let's see. Charlie says it's a big vehicle. Yes.
Yeah, I think the Rancor started losing backers once the cardboard tier was shown.
Yeah. Mr. Skeeler says we missed a chance to have the Tonica sisters piloting the gunship.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
That would have been, yeah, and it's perfect that there's two seats in there for them.
Yeah, and by the way, that the cockpit was just so detailed, and the deco was pretty amazing on that too. So,
yeah.
Little things.
Let's see here.
We're gonna need a bigger table.
We're gonna need a bigger house.
Yeah, your display behind you is looking primo, by the way.
Thank you very much. I like this setup because now I can I can rotate everything to have a different background.
Yeah.
So yes. Alex says, this thing, it looks awesome, but I can't help but look at the Joe Rattler HasLab and wish the gunship had some of those firing effects and swap out damage side panels with lights behind them. I mean, yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, like launching missiles, that has not been part of the TVC DNA for a really long time. Like anything 2.0 TVC, right? Going back to the combat assault tank, they were very deliberate in it being like more of a model type thing rather than having the launching projectiles and stuff, which honestly, like if you had launching projectiles, you're going to do it maybe once when you get it. And I mean, are you going to do it after that? I mean, I don't think so. I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, and I'll just say too, like the lighting effects, I'll have to go back and see some of the Joe lighting effects. Like I've modded stuff with LEDs, and I feel like the stuff I put in is much nicer than what they would put in. But I will take a look at the Joe stuff to see how those electronics look. But you know, again, like they're not paying an absorbent licensing fee, right? It's their own IP.
Right.
So
people forget that's a big part of this.
We could probably blame Disney for not having those things because they're taking a good chunk of.
Yeah, but even before that, when it was just Lucasfilm, like they still had the highest licensing of any property, like in the toy industry. So it's and it's only gone up, I'm sure, under with Disney, but it's always been the case. Adam says nothing like the last final days of the Star Wars HasLab. Yes, indeed. Rebel Friend 2000 says there's always been fence sitters. I think we might actually hit tiers on Monday, depending on when we hit 8,000. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's crazy to be at, again, 4,500 now. There was a point, I didn't think we'd be at 4,500 right now. So.
Yep. Rudy says, how on earth did the Ghost get almost 22,000 backers and the iconic gunship is struggling to even hit 8,000? Did everyone just want the figures? I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier, right? Like there was nothing TVC related for Rebels. So Rebels fans that were collecting TVC were just starved for product. And the Ghost was one of those big, I mean, in Disney speak, like e-ticket vehicles that had never been done. That was a huge thing. And it was fresh. And I think part of the 22,000 speaks to how popular Rebels may be, partly, but also we're talking 2023 when costs were high, but not like manufacturing costs. I don't think they were what they are now. And economy was a little different as well. So, I mean, I think that definitely factored in to some extent.
Yeah, and I don't want to take away that number because it is quite amazing, even if you notched it down a few thousand. But there's a lot of people sitting on extra Ghosts and True. They can't sell them for what they paid for. So that's another factor. I know just some of the comments on Facebook. Actually, Jason had a good point from Yakface that a lot of people are sitting on their Hasbro Premium renewal. I had 2 days left of my premium account when the HasLab was announced at San Diego Comic-Con. So I feel like a lot of people's they expire in the summer, right? I don't know if you recall when yours did, Victoria, if you had premium. But it's usually around this time. So it seems like people really want to get the most out of their $50 premium membership.
Right.
And get that free shipping.
Yeah.
It is quite a big charge now. What is it, 35 or I forgot what it is, but it's
yeah, it's a good little bit. So as long as you backed it while you had your Pulse Premium, you're covered, right? So even after,
Yeah.
okay. Just in case anyone's wondering, that is 100% the case.
Yeah, so there's just so many factors. And then, of course, there's the people, like we said, that I already have 7 of these. Why do I need another?
Yeah. Absolutely. So it looks like we have 80 in the house. If you are tuning in, welcome to Cantina Social Hour. We've been talking about recent HasLabs, with our focus being on the Republic Gunship. And we have my friend John Miko here with us to discuss these topics that fascinate us. And yeah, get the gunship. I'm hoping, I'm going to keep a close eye on it over the next few days. I mean, this is going to be taking up a good portion of my mental space, I guess. So we'll see what happens. I always say positive vibes. Just it would be amazing to add this to our collections. And I'm really excited for it. I really hope it happens. As much as I love my other gunships, like now that I've seen what I can have, it's like I'll probably keep them, but I want to replace it. Like I'm looking at it right now. I really want to replace it.
Yeah, for sure. And I just wanted to show the dashboard I had put together. And I will say I'm shocked by the amount of views this has so far. It's by far, almost 9,000 views. The Cantina, if it maybe had more time, maybe would have passed that, almost 4,600 views. But people are hitting refresh on this, I guess, a decent amount of times. But yeah, this is kind of breaking down everything here from what day it is, how many days are left, how many backers we got that day, what % of funding are we at, and that's obviously just for the base funding. If we look at tier 1 for Coleman, did I mess up the math on that? All right, we're not going to go into that one because I didn't. Oh no, I did. I just can't read. 45% to Coleman. If we go all the way down to Agan, we are 32% funded. And then I have the ship here, the actual daily aggregation. I did have a forecast that I felt was kind of it was following. As you can see here, it was surpassing it. Now it's kind of falling under it. We'll see where it lands in the next hour and a half or so here. Yeah, I'm showing you kind of the last 7 days, what's going on with those days. We'd see it's trending up right now. Hopefully it keeps going up. And then I give a little visual here, right, of the funding to get the minimum funding to Coleman, Sicey, Hagen, and then I compare some numbers side by side. So you can see my projection here. I was hoping for a little over 200 or over 200 tonight. And as it grows and grows, and then you can see some of the other, other HasLabs here. I wish I could get more of the other data, but you can compare them to the Giant Man, the Cantina, the Razor Crest, the Ghost. We don't want to look at the Rancor. That's just negative vibes. But, again, you can see, right, for each one of these, even though the Cantina didn't have as long as a campaign as these ones, but you can see what those last few days really start climbing up. So we really need to see that right now. Even Giant Man, right? He didn't back to the last day. So, but he was only 199. I jumped on that last day. I was like, $200, why not?
Nice.
But anyways, just wanted to show that. It's a fun little tool. Shout out to all the people who've commented on it, enjoying it, and looking at the data and giving forecast ideas and trajectory ideas. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice. We love it. Thank you so much for doing that, and obviously putting a lot of time and effort into that. Very valuable data, very insightful, and very important to have.
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of people like, it's not gonna fund. It's no way. It's failed already. And it's like, have you seen the data of these other HasLabs? Because you're not correct. So like, well, you're not definitively, you know, it can still, it's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a thought about it at this point in time, whether or not it's going to fund. I don't know if I want to say what that thought is, but I'm optimistic. I tend to lean optimistic, so I think, yeah. But yeah. Any other thoughts on the Republic Gunship?
I'll just say again, I think it speaks to what TVC is intended for, and look, I'm an OT era person. I was born in 1980. Kind of, I guess I missed the boat for two of the movies, but I grew up in the 80s and early 90s, right? Just watching a lot of OT and whatnot. And the PT came out when I was 18 years old. I enjoyed it with my little brother. It's grown on me more and more over the years, and I'm all for it. So back the lat.
Nice. I'm like in between the two. I feel like, I mean, because OT was my first exposure to Star Wars, of course, but I guess like I'm just like in that like in between sort of like bracket, because the other ones I was still like in middle school when Phantom Menace came out. But yeah, no, it's I don't want to say like I'm beating a dead horse, but it is a very impressive piece. It's highly detailed. It's exactly what TVC should have in it. I mean, the caliber of this kind of an offering, and it has the HasLab moniker written all over it when you experience it in person. I mean, it's totally fitting for the concept of HasLab. So
yeah,
yeah. I mean, positive vibes for the gunship backing, and we will see in just a few days where things are.
Yeah, and I think Chad has a good point here, and maybe they're also speaking to like the thoughts about a Death Star HasLab. I think there is a ceiling for this stuff, and I think with everything going on, there's a expensive item every year, and is the economy as good as it can be for everybody? What is the ceiling? I mean, this is a low entry hobby for the most part. Right? You can get into it by buying a $16.99 figure. And maybe that speaks to, that there is a ceiling for a lot of this stuff, and not everyone, whether they want it or not, is able to purchase some of these larger ticket items or keep purchasing them on a consistent basis. So I will say with that, it could be time, for the next time around to do something that's, a dream project that's not, in the $400 to $500 range.
Right. Definitely.
Sorry, Death Star.
Oh, Death Star. We got to get through the cantina first. But it is fun to think ahead at possibilities. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, I think that sums up that portion of our convo. Anything else TVC related you wanted to highlight or mention, particularly perhaps surrounding the Battle of Geonosis theme, or?
Ooh. No, I mean, I a lot of people have had just great posts about their ideas for, different things that have not been done before, right? Like the command centers, the URE, whatever you want to call them. A lot of different ideas there. I know there's some characters that have never been done before, right? Some politicians and smugglers, and not smugglers, separatists and stuff like that. But it's just been really cool to see a lot of the different ideas out there for the Battle of Geonosis. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, in terms of like an action-oriented set piece around, which you could create like a pretty big theme. Geonosis is definitely in terms of the prequels, it's definitely one of those segments, one of those moments. And there are others too that I think would be cool to explore. But I think Geonosis for sure. Like when you're thinking of the whole like prequel era, like that is like the most action oriented, like just like eye candy, like sort of part, like the beginning of the Clone Wars, right? Like seeing Anakin as a young adult, like for the first time, like in action with Obi-Wan. Yeah, so I mean, there's some of what's been pipelined and some of the ideas, like you were saying, that we've seen people posting. And I said it last week, but really got to hand it off to the fans on Instagram who are posting their ideas and sharing a lot of this stuff, whether it's the gunship or Battle Geonosis. Like there's a lot of momentum right now. There's a lot of energy and a lot of expression going on regarding this whole part of TVC. So that is cool to see.
Yeah, definitely.
And I see quite a few comments in the surrounding other possible items, other possible HasLabs. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess we will get into the new acquisitions portion of the show. This is brand new stuff that we've added to our collections, things that I've added to my collections, things that John has added, things that the Cantinians have added to their collections as well. So let's go ahead and talk new acquisitions.
New acquisitions.
Love it.
All right. So John, would you like to go first?
Yes. Let's see here. All right, I don't have a whole lot. I know I mentioned my Hot Toys Endor Han. Very awesome. Excited for that one. My buddy went to a flea market and he bought me a VHS of a movie that I watched a ton, side by side with Return of the Jedi.
Ah, nice.
So it is kind of nice to get some VHS tapes again. I think there is a VCR downstairs. So I do want to pull it out. I do have some home movies I've wanted to check out, and I have the original Star Wars on VHS as well that I've been wanting to watch. Hopefully they're still, the tape is still good. But I thought that was a really thoughtful gift. So shout out to my buddy Blake. He's best man at my wedding. He loves to nerd out on stuff. He loves so many things as well. And he was who I started the Vintage Collection Facebook group because you needed to create a Facebook group with somebody else.
Yeah.
There's that. There's I got another carbonite block from Mr. Ben Mund. I know you got one not too long ago. So I'm a huge Fett fan, and he took VC 186 and made me a block, and then he even did the card back too, which was really cool.
Gorgeous.
And I wonder, there's the other bounty hunters on the back, which is really cool. He also did thank you. Yeah, he did a Bib Fortuna of me a while back as well. I think I might have shared it on one of your streams. I showed the sketch that Stevie had done that he signed. That was really cool. And then for the barge, Jesus, John. The Cantina. I had just one of the Ketwalls. I'm saying that right? Ketwall, and I needed another one to do the second version.
Yep.
Were there two names? I don't even know. Okay, thank you. That's what I'm bad at. I'm bad at that stuff. So I was at my mall that's been taken over by this sports store that has a bunch of collectibles in it too, and they had one of these. So I was able to grab another one, and I want to send it to my buddy Ivo out in Bulgaria, and he's going to make me a really nice custom.
Oh, cool.
With real soft goods and all of that stuff. So, yeah, those are my recent acquisitions.
Very nice. Very nice. Kellwall was a huge peg warmer back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I did try my. That's probably the first like low key custom that I ever tried. It wasn't a custom. It was just kind of like moving things around. Yes, you turn his head backwards, and I think I put on in the Saga line there was an Obi-Wan Kenobi figure that came with like a big, almost like felt like Jedi robe, and I put that on him with the hood up, and it looked enough like the other character that I thought it was passable. But yeah.
Melas, that's it. Yeah.
How's it going, Dave? By the way, good to see you. Holonet.
Mr. Rubin.
Yeah. Figure report. You.
Oh, sorry. We missed Mr. Rubin at Red 5. He is from Eastern Mass. So we missed you, man.
July through November. Good to see you too. All right. So for me, I am going to. I know I already did this, but I'm going to do it again. Let me grab them. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
Recent acquisitions.
The finer things in life, right? I'm going to show them again. I mean, like I said, I cannot help myself. The finer things in life. Right here.
Oh, so amazing.
Yes. Bria and Senny. La, la, la. And they're in figure shell cases, as they should be. As they should be. Until I get one signed, then it's going to go in an acrylic case.
Awesome.
But yeah. What I want to show, because I mentioned that I published my Cantina review earlier. I will show a little bit of a sneak peek at because that was my huge acquisition was the Cantinas, right? I received 3. I got one deluxe, and that's the one that's featured in the review. I received one standard so that I could have my opener figures, and then I got a 3rd one. I don't know why, just because I did, because I'm a Cantina nerd, and I needed to have one signed, right? And I don't want to have both of my carded Tonica sisters signed, so got to have one just stock, clean, unsigned, because I'm weird. But the Cantina was huge. That is my dream project, going back years, going back decades. Like, that's the one thing I always would have dreamt of reviewing on this channel. And finally, I've had that opportunity to do that. But I do want to show a few images, just a sneak peek in case you haven't seen that review video yet.
Ooh.
I did put the whole thing together, the whole deluxe setup. And modal nodes, they have their own alcove, of course. I know that, it was the bandstand. They weren't on set at Elstree Studios in London, but they are a pivotal part of the Cantina, so they need to be in there. And then you were just talking about Ketwall. Well, there's Ketwall.
Yeah.
He's chatting with Dice Ibegon, who's that little weird dude. And then in the background, Labria is looking on, just as you see in that shot in the film. Ellis Helrott and Herchek Kalfas join them in the background. Herchek Kalfas, of course, played by my friend Laurie Good, who also portrayed one of the rebels in the Yavin scene at the end.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Also a stormtrooper in the film. He played 3 roles in that movie.
Wow.
And then we have, and I have had him on Cantina Chatter podcast. We did do a whole interview with him. This is the easy one, Greedo and Han. I mean, they're and I do want to mention that most of these initially, as you'll see in the review, I put all the bars and chairs where Hasbro said to put them, like on the instruction manual. Then I started moving them around once I started putting figures in there. But there is a lot of room in these alcoves. That's why you see 2 tables in there.
Can I? I'm sorry. Can I ask you how awesome is that Greedo?
Oh my god, he's amazing.
Oh,
He's amazing.
Fascinated with those hands. I don't know why the hands are cool.
Yeah, he's got the coolest hands.
Yeah,
he does. That's probably why he was a lousy shot, though. I mean, look how long his fingers.
Right. Yep. Suction cups get in the way.
So this is at the very back of the cantina. So I have,
Yeah.
this is one of my favorite like little moments here. So this is also from the film. You see Felteprin Trevag hanging out with Trinto Duaba, who's in the back. He's the guy with the scarf, and then Moman Nadon. That's the new TVC one. There's also a shot in the cantina of Felteprin Trevag talking to Mylum Unith, or I think Chris, when I had him on, he said that they were canoodling in the cantina. And that is true. So I put her in there to be with him. And then Lax Sivrak, I just needed a place to put him. I didn't want to abandon Lax Sivrak because he does count as a cantina figure. So he's just kind of hanging out with them too. This is the opening shot of the cantina scene. That is him, Dazon. You see his head popping up on a stick and then just tilting over. And he is sitting with Pons Limbic and him, Dazon. And then, of course, we are missing Liren Karn, who's the Bith, the alternate band player, I guess. And then we're missing our Leal Shoes, who would round out this scene if we had both of those figures.
Wow, Hasbro.
Come on, Hasbro, get with it.
Get her done.
Get her done. And then the last one here is another moment we see in the film. You do see all four of these in the same alcove together. So, well, no, actually, I'm lying. You see three of them in the same alcove together. Mayo, one of my favorite Cantina figures.
Yeah, me too.
And then Wyoslia is not in that booth in that scene, but I wanted to put her somewhere back there. She doesn't stand very well, so I just kind of needed to have her somewhere like in the back.
Leaning up against the wall. Yep.
Yeah. Muff Tack doesn't sit, so he's standing
Poor
back.
Muff Tack.
Yeah, we need a new Muff Tack. That's the one that really needs update.
Yeah,
and then
his Apple Watch just told him to stand. Sorry.
Right. Time to stand. Yeah, I get that. Like when I'm in the movie theater, I'm like, dude, I'm in a movie theater.
That looks great. That's so awesome.
Yeah, and then Dopor, who's the other guy.
We're not going to get any bar shots? No bar shots?
Well, in the full review, you get to see everything in great detail, but I will show one. How about that?
All right.
I will show one of. How about, let's do this. Let me show you the figures in hanging out in the cantina, the new figures that come with this set. And I will also show you what it looks like when the little light bright pegs are lit up. What that looks like if you put a light in there. If I can find these images amongst the hundreds of images that I took of the cantina. Okay, here they are. Man, I spent I'm not kidding, I probably spent 8 hours just playing with this thing on Monday, on Labor Day. That was what I did on Labor Day. I just spent the whole day with the cantina. And then I spent another 6 hours editing the video that I took.
Oh.
And it reminded me why I seldom make videos anymore, for review videos. Trying to find the one with the LED, the little fake LED thingies, because they actually look really awesome, and there is a shot of them in the video. It actually looks really cool. If you can, I'm gonna have to rig something. I don't know what you're gonna use, John. I know you're really good at doing the rigging with the LEDs. So whatever you end up doing, I may need to steal at some point.
Yeah, we could always figure something out. With whatever I figure out, I'll make a duplicate of and send it to you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, here they are. Of course, we want to see what the tonicas look like in the cantina.
Oh, wow. Look at the lipstick and everything. Wow.
I know. The makeup is really, I mean, we think a lot about the cantina characters, and a lot of them were just Rick Baker masks and costumes that were lying around. But and then at Elstree Studios, where they did most of the filming for the actual the scene, a lot of it is just human characters just wearing random things. But like these two, like they actually like really like made look really nice with the colored lipstick and the coordinating eyeshadow colors, and then the outfits. There's our bartender right there.
Oh man, he looks so good. Look at the bags under his eyes and everything. Oh my god.
He is wonderful.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then I just love the detail of the drink dispenser and all the piping and everything.
Yeah, it looks like they used like carbonized and everything. That's great.
Yeah. Carbonized. Now that's a word I've not heard in a long time.
Yeah, sorry.
Here's Greedo. And and he sits perfectly. There's no concerns with him sitting. There is yeah. Why is her name?
Nebron.
Nebron Leeds, yeah. Yeah. Looks awesome. Drink in one hand and then pistols in two of the other hands.
No holsters or anything, I forget.
No holsters. But that's movie action. Well, it didn't have holsters.
That's right. It doesn't need them. You know, when you got 4 hands, you can hold everything out.
Yeah, you could.
And the boots look like metallic too, huh? That's great.
They do. I love the spacesuit on this one.
And look at the goggles and everything's painted up. Man.
Everything. And then this is what the little night bright pegs look like when you put a light behind them.
Yeah, nice.
That's pretty cool. The bar tables also light up if you put a little LED inside them, so that is another display option.
Now let me ask you, how do you feel about the deco? Little lacking there. I know there's a bit of a wash, but
you know, honestly, I mean, I can't say this with 100% certainty because I don't know, and you know, I wasn't there and it doesn't exist anymore, obviously. But when you go back and watch the scene, and that, trust me, when I was making this video, I rewatched it probably like 20 times.
Yeah.
I can't say that the actual set looked more like detailed than what this is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty spot on. It was very dark in there, so maybe it looked a little more detailed than it actually was. But if you were under studio light conditions with that same set, I don't know that it would look as dark and dirty, you know? So I feel like this is pretty close. I was very happy with the paint, like the red and the blue striping. I like how they did a really good job, like breaking it up so that it looks old and worn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's there is one aspect of this that I was a little bit frustrated with, and I do mention it in the review and kind of go into it, but by and large, like the other 90% of this thing is just pretty awesome. Like it's just a dream that it actually exists and that I have it. And I really, really, really do wish I could display it in its full glory, like the whole thing. But you know, until that day comes, it will need to be broken up in segments and shown modularly. Is that a word, modularly?
Sure.
I don't know. We'll take it. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of this playset. This was like my dream item, and now I have it. And again, everything else is garnish. So
yeah. Well, very happy for you. Thank you for sharing some of those amazing photos.
Yeah, of course.
And every day I don't have mine will be even worse now. Thank you.
You're going to get it soon. It's just going to show up and you're going to be like, oh, it's here.
I can't wait.
All right. So let's see here. Cantinians have added things to their collections. Let's see here. Steven says, I got the Cantina. Congrats, Steven. Adam says, I got my Black Series Halloween Royal Guard and Night Trooper, as well as Barasafi and Dash Rendar and the Cantina. Wow. Those are good acquisitions, Adam. Very, very good acquisitions. Hollownut says, my latest is for TVC is the Cantina and Night Sister. Very nice. Very nice. I'm guessing that is that the video game from Jedi Fallen Order? Or right, that Night Sister, I'm guessing. Marin. Trevor says, picked up Foden bead. Nice. That's an old one. That's Power of the Jedi. Britt says, got Black Series. Barris and Jedi Temple Guard arrived yesterday. Also picked up a lot of anime action figures. Nice. Jedi Temple Guard. That is, I hadn't heard of anyone getting that yet, so that is cool to hear, Britt. Pico B1 got Cantina, Han and Tauntaun Funko, the Disney exclusive probe and pod, and the Halloween droid. Also an open. I'm guessing that's the Phantom Menace, right? The sea creature to go with. Micro Galaxy Squadron Bongo sub. Nice. Alex got the Cantina and Black Series Dash Rendar. Let's see. Brent says the old Geonosis 3PO battle droid set from Attack of the Clones in preparation for the theme. Ooh, that's a good one. Skeezer says Dengar is on the way. Was hoping it was the Cantina, so I was underwhelmed to say the least. Can't say I blame you. Trevor says Tonica Sisters and Carbonite. I mean, that would be cool, but I'm not going to sacrifice my Cantina, the Tonicas for that. Like, can't do that.
Jason, July through November. He might be able to help with something to make that happen by sculpting something for you and then shipping off to Mr. Benmund.
Wow, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting indeed. Dave,
who would want to put them in Carbonite? Who wants to put them in Deep Sleep? Come on.
I'm just thinking about putting them in the gunship now after somebody mentioned it. I got the Disney Parks Droid Factory Probe Droid. An awesome toy, especially for us Kenner collectors, has never made it past the prototype phase. It is a cool one. It is pretty cool. I was pretty pleased with the way that turned out.
Is that at Disney stores yet, or the website?
I think it was. I don't know if it still is. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, no.
It may still be. I don't know. But if it's not, I'm sure I can grab you one next time I go to the parks.
Okay.
Rudy says both Cantinas arrived safely. Picked up a Land Speeder, Callus, and Moff Gideon from Amazon. Marin arrived from Pulse. Dengar, Ponda, Cobb, and Rocket Trooper are on their way. Nice. PGB1 says, I got Fat Bib from AliExpress. Nice. Dodgen says, last weekend's flea market finds, Kenner Harpoon Harrison for $2. Kenner Capture Copter Net accessory, Kenner Capture Gear muzzle, Utah Raptor Young T-Rex, and Lost World Rex Stamper for $2. That's part one. Luke says, got Ayla, Black Series Walmart display. Oh, that's cool. And G.I. Joe Law and Order. I don't know what that is, but that sounds interesting. With German Shepherd and the Blue Clone Wars tank, Micro Galaxy Squadron and Beast of the Mesozoic, Allosaurus and Dilophosaurus, and Beast of the Cenozoic Cats Plus. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. I just realized I forgot to show a couple of things. I was too enveloped in the Cantina. I'll bring them in just a minute. And remember back to what we were saying about Batman earlier. Just keep that in mind. Let's see. Milky Way got a Stan Solo retro style Darth Vader removable helmet. Still waiting for TBC Cantina, Bantha, and Speeder. Nicholas got the Power of the Force 2 EV99 for cheap at a secondhand toy store. Nice. Dodgson also got the, along with muzzle, stamper, and net, I found a Series 1 Grant's backpack for $1. At another booth, I found a complete Dennis Nedry $1 and Grant's accessories and Toy Biz Maguire Spider-Man for $20. Very nice. Good haul there, Dodgson, on your adventures. Thank you, Adam. I'm glad that those images are inspiring, and that's the goal. Dave, I also got the Epic World of Action Pirate Captain Brutus, who will be my stand-in until we get our Leel in the 4-pack. Not a bad idea. I should do that. Allison says, I'll have to watch the video later. Need to find some big patients. Turns out I backed much later than I thought, so there's a wait. And again, I don't think it matters when we back these things, right? They just kind of ship when they ship. Milky Way says, I got 2 more Retro Collection and New Hope sets for a total of 7 now. Dang. Stockpiling.
Wow.
Dodgson also says, to cap it off, went back to my go-to vendor and he hooked it up with the Burger King The Lost World watch with Raptor Eye for $5, ending the total for $30. You got all that for $30? Dang, that's pretty good.
Wow. Bargain shopper. Love it.
Luke says, G.I. Joe, Polar Bear, and a ways back, Luke's Land Speeder, new one, Black Series, Turgle, those green T-Rexes, Hammond Collection, and $2 Dr. Evazan and Black Series Bulba, Beast of the Cenozoic, Smilodons that are brown and black, very nice. Let's see here. Is that everything? Don't want to miss anything. Just running through here. Victoria needs an intern. Yes, I do. Anyone want to sign up? The job is open. I can't say it pays much. It probably doesn't pay anything, actually, but I think that's why it's called an intern. Whereas Lisa Serlin, she is in there, but you got to watch the full Cantina. All that, like, again, I've never missed a Cantina figure. If you watch the review, you'll see what that looks like. A fully loaded Cantina, what that looks like. On it says a bunch of random Fortnite characters because they look pretty cool. Brent says the bar sections have trouble staying together. Yes. Yes. We don't talk about carbonized anymore. Where's job as accountant? I don't, is that you, John? Are you job as accountant? July through November got the Cantina and the Disney Probe Droid Pod thing. I think that is it. I think we got through everything. Okay, I'm going to show my last 2 real quick. Okay, I mentioned Batman 89 and Batman Returns. Like, I'm in a little bit of a high for both of those right now. So, you know, one of my favorite toy lines of all time was the Kenner Batman Returns line, and by association, the Dark Knight collection that Kenner made in 1990, a year after Toy Biz made the figures. They lost the license, it went to Kenner. So I got 2 things, and these are pretty epic. These are kind of like almost like grails, I guess. First one, I got the Dark Knight collection Batmobile right here. This is the Batmobile right here, the original Kenner Batmobile, brand new in box. The box itself looks quite nice, I might say. Pretty decent condition. And I'm very happy with how it looks. I'm not going to open it. It's going to stay in its box. Maybe when I'm on my deathbed, one of those days I'll open it because it's not going to matter anymore. But for now, it's staying in its box. And then the last one I got is, this just came in today. This is the Batman Returns Turbojet Batwing right here. And this was released in the Dark Knight collection back in 1990, but then it was repacked for the Batman Returns line. So
awesome.
Yeah, this is a pretty big vehicle. And I mean, I'm not going to open it either, but I am listening to the parts jostling in there. So I'm kind of a little nervous about that. So I don't know, maybe I will pop it open just to take a peek. But then again, I don't really want to do that because I don't want to. But yes, those are my new acquisitions for this week. And yeah, I think we need to do another. I need to do another Batman show one of these days, like we did last year.
Epic week.
Epic week, and more to come. That 4th Cantina is arriving. Angela's Cantina should be here tomorrow, and then I know something shipped from Pulse. I don't remember what it was. I did get a notification that something shipped from Pulse. It wasn't the canteen. It was something else, but I don't remember what it was. It might have been Dengar, something as mundane as Dengar, but who knows? Cool. Well, I think that covers it. John, as always, it has been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and talking TVC, talking Star Wars, talking the Cantina, talking the Tonica Sisters, talking the HasLab Republic Gunship campaign.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me talk about my nerd experience at Red 5 Toys and Collectibles this past weekend. You know, hanging out with Steve and Chris from Hasbro, and obviously all the. I do want to say it was pretty amazing seeing so many people I've never met before. I do want to say, and I almost forgot this, that I got to meet Lorena, which was awesome. I had no idea she was coming. And there was, some collectors like Bob Littell. I got to meet Mr. Skeesler there, Ed. Just so many great people. We missed you, Mr. Dave Rubin. But I had met you in person before. There was so many people I can't even name. Rumsleg from Bantha Skull. There was just so many people that just came up to us, said hello, and I'm so and so. You might recognize my name, but not my screen name. So, anyways, it was lovely to meet all these people. Lorena brought her Satine figures and displayed them with the gunship and all this stuff. Nice. That was pretty great. And the Customs for the Kid brought some of the other ones. But anyways, I do want to mention that it was great to nerd out at the event. I am very excited for you to be able to witness Jaws in theaters, see some of those Batman movies again. It would be nice to see the original 89 Batman again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so happy for you to have your some of your dream items there, the Cantina, the sisters there. Time to play with Tonica.
Yes.
You know,
time for Tonica has come, and this is really as good as it gets. I mean, to know that we actually that it got funded and that it was happening, like, that was awesome. But like, to actually receive it and hold it in your hand and be like, I mean, I don't want to use anything above PG rating words, but like, to get it in hand and to actually like be like, wow, like, this is actually here. This actually exists, and it's been made, and it's a thing, in light of what a lot of people said. It's never going to happen. This and that, but it's here. So this is good as it gets.
Are you gonna sit there and like they're having a drink at the bar, and you're like sitting there with your own like nice little cocktail, just like hanging out, like
with the Tonicas?
I think you should. Like, hey,
why not?
Let's have a little drink, ladies, gentlemen.
I could do that. I could set up the whole bar, drop down to like like eye level, like action figure POV, and put on like the Cantina band or something, and and just hang out with them. That'd be pretty cool. Set the lighting up, and that would be nice.
I think so.
Of course, I have hung out with a real Tonica sister before, so there's that.
That's
too.
True. You've had a real beverage with her
a couple times, yeah. So I will keep everybody updated as far as that goes as well. Getting Angela her Cantina. Legend status figures for sure. They would be on the I don't want to say, they are definitely that status for sure. Like, if you had like a short list of like, wow, they made this, like, they would be on there. And Adam says, this was such a fun week, and we got 2 more such hours in the next week. Absolutely. You guys are going to get tired of me. So I just want to mention it one more time that that next week we will be on twice, 2 shows next week. We're going to be doing a show on Monday, and that is going to be for the big thing that we've been talking about all evening. That is going to be ending on Monday. It ends is it midnight Eastern time, John, that it ends?
Yeah, midnight Eastern or maybe 11:59. I forget what exact. Let's take a look here real quick. It ends in 4 days, 38 minutes. What's in 38 minutes? 12 seconds.
Yeah, I think that is
11:59.
Yeah.
11:59 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Eastern. Yeah, so we will be on at 8 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 11 p.m. Eastern, for the final countdown live stream for the HasLab Republic Gunship. And we'll just be hanging out and having a good time. So, and then of course our normal show will be on Thursday of that week as well. So you guys get to see me twice. A reminder, if you haven't seen the Cantina review, the HasLab Mos Eisley Cantina review is up on YouTube. Please check that out. John, anything new on your end in terms of things you're working on or things you want to share regarding your creative social media endeavors?
Well, I will say that we are also hosting a live stream Monday, but we will be on at 7 Eastern. Sorry for some of you West Coast people. You might still be working, but I think you should get out early because of the HasLab final day. But I do want to know, it's going to be me and Augustine from the Facebook group. I know you've met him a few times at San Diego Comic-Con. He's a sweetheart. Yes. And our first guest, you don't want to miss.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. And we'll leave it at that. You won't want to miss it. So definitely check out John's live stream, you guys. More important than mine, definitely check that out. And then for social medias, John, where can our viewers go to look you up?
Yes, so at the far side of Endor is my Instagram, johnmiko.com, and then Star Wars The Vintage Collection Facebook group. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Awesome. We do have you linked down in the description as well. So any folks that stragglers that may not be following yet, those are listed below. And is it possible that Victoria's Cantina might make an appearance on your stream, John?
I certainly hope so. We're talking to her agent right now. We're hoping she can commit. Let's see.
Let's hope so. Let's hope the agent is able to come through. All right. Well, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It has been a lot of fun. It's been a blast. Before we depart, we're going to do one last super quick check-in on the Republic Gunship and see if there is any progress since we last took a look at it. So we're going to jump really quick over to Hasbro Pulse. Last we looked at it, it was at 4,516. As we end tonight's show, it is at 4,524. So it's gone up 8 backers since we last looked at it. And I think before that was at 12 since we first went live. So that's like 20 backers in the last 2 hours. So
44. So we're at 111 backers for the day.
Get the gunship, you guys. Get the gunship.
That's right.
You don't want to miss it.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. The time is now. If you are on the fence, the time is now, you guys. You get the gunship, add to your collections. And if you decide that it's not for you, there's always eBay. There's always eBay. There's always OfferUp and all those sites. So yeah. And then those that did not back it will probably pay you a little bit more than you paid for it to acquire it. Well, all right. Well, that said, my friends, thank you so much for joining in with us tonight. Keep it positive. Be cool. It's really hot here in SoCal and kind of miserable, honestly. But can't wait for fall. I'm at that point. Like Labor Day's past. Like just give me fall. Like I'm 100% ready for that. No matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy, thank you so much for watching Victoria's Cantina. Thank you for watching Cantina Social Hour. Be well, be safe. May the Force be with you. We will catch you next time, you guys. Peace out, everybody.
Yes, I bet you have.
McConkey.
Nice.
Hi, guys.